to you from Baker's Green Acres, and I'm trying out the YouTube Live platform to see if it meets the needs of this service, I guess you'd call it, a little bit better. I got my start on YouTube, making YouTube videos, and then we kind of went over to the Facebook platform because the YouTube I was unable to upload. But with this one, it seems to work fine. And it seems as though the YouTube crowd is a little bit more, you know, no joke. They don't want to just be entertained. They want to be informed of things. So it was kind of a decision that we made yesterday that we'd try it and see how it works out. And I made a YouTube live video last night. It wound up being a pretty neat question and answer session. And, you know, it's March and we're trying to get through, make it to spring, and March Madness is probably upon us. I tell you what, today I have got a beautiful day here in northern Michigan. It's probably 35 degrees out. We've got a really nice snow cover and blue sky, not a line in the sky. It's really nice to see this. And the subject that I wanted to talk about, I called this Homestead Safety Part 1. What's nice about this too is I can title stuff. So if there was ever somebody that needed to search something, when we have our Wednesday night call and somebody has a question about something that I know I've made a video about, I can say, well, just go and look there and it's under this. And it's a better way to get information out. But yesterday I had lunch with a friend and we were talking about processes and homesteading and things like this, and people that have been in the farming business and been homesteading for a while, sometimes you see things that other people don't. And if I see somebody making a mistake, and it's a mistake that they're going to learn from, and it's not going to kill them, I'm not going to say anything, because that's how you learn. And you don't want to be the dogmatic guy that says, well, this guy's not doing it right. You don't want to do that. The time when you do want to intervene as a servant and maybe a little bit more mature farmer is when you see somebody's going to get hurt. And it could make the homestead experience into a bad experience instead of a good experience. And it can be a great experience. I wouldn't do anything else at this stage in the game unless something better came along. Yeah, it's getting a little windy now and I'm taking the fence down so I can get in with these bigger animals. I have 2 milk cows. At one time I had quite a few cows here and I was raising a lot of, here's some beefers, and let's see if I can show them to you. This calf here laying down, and it's a 2-year-old calf, so it's not really a calf anymore, I guess. But that's a steer, so he's been castrated. And the reason we do that, castrating is when we surgically remove their testicles. The reason we do that is for the safety of the people here. In the bovine world, it's well known that a bull, and that would be an animal that hasn't been castrated, can be a real problem. I'm trying to put this fence back up. Okay. And the other day I saw something that I commented to my friend. Somebody had brought a bull on their farm, and we could tell from the other things that they were doing on their farm that they really were just trying to learn some processes that they wanted to do, but they weren't real experienced. And I saw this guy bringing a bull onto his farm as if it was a calf. And the guy even said, hey, it hasn't been handled very much. But it was a full-grown bull. I mean, this thing had antlers on him and everything. They don't call them antlers, they call them horns. I'm just kidding. But he was big. He was a couple thousand pounds, extremely powerful. And I saw that they put him in a horse stall and had to close both the bottom gate and the top gate door. It was a horse stall. And I thought, how are you going to get any water in there? How are you going to get food in? As soon as you open that top one, that bull can come right over the top of that. And then if they're angry, they might beat up a car, but they might beat up a kid. And bulls are strong enough that they can absolutely kill a human being. It happens every year. So I think a lot of the things that we do on our homestead, we might make it look easy. And I'm not saying don't get into it. I'm just saying go into everything as though your life depends on it, because it does. My background is aviation and then military aviation. And so safety is paramount always in everything that we do. So on our farm processes that we're learning or teaching to our kids or to students, I always want to talk safety first. But I don't know if I convey that too well, all right? So this friend of mine, close friend, said you really need to give the no joke briefing on farm safety, because a really great experience can turn into a really bad experience if you don't know what you're playing with. So I titled this Part 1, and I wanted to show you those animals up there. It's cold up there, so I'm not going to stand there. If you want to keep a milk cow, let's say, you don't need a bull. You can have an artificial insemination service come in and do that for you. They can inseminate your cow with anything that you want. You can have any breed that you want. It's just a question of dollars. And it's not very expensive, really, when you can phone ring. When you consider keeping a bull and you know, the expenses that are involved with you know, housing and all that stuff, because it's got to be extremely secure. So yeah, it makes that insemination service seem quite cheap. And plus, a bull on your farm is sort of like a tiger on your farm. If it does get away, gets loose, and gets mad at your car, it'll beat it up, turn it over, ruin it, total it. If it gets mad at one of your kids and gets away, same thing can happen. And our homesteads should be a friendly place. I mean, a commercial farm is not a friendly place. There's a lot of heavy equipment there. There's a lot of equipment that'll turn human beings into mush. And that's not a friendly place, but our homestead should be a friendly place. So there's no reason why we should have animals here that are inherently dangerous to us. Now, a milk cow, yeah, she could be. She could. But if she showed signs of being mean, I'd get rid of her. And our feeder calves, like those black ones that I showed you up there, they move away from me. They show no signs of aggression ever, ever. The young calves, the worst thing that you're going to have with them is if they move their head quickly and hit you with it. That can be kind of. But I'm not worried about my kids getting severely hurt by them. You know, they may get a kick in the shin or something, which can be bad, but I'm not worried about like a bull goring them to death and having problems like that. Now, I said that this is going to be Part 1, and so I'm talking bovine here. I'm talking calves, cows, and bulls, and I am recommending that you don't have a bull on your farm, on your homestead. You know, that's really for, I hate to say this, but professionals, guys that have a big dairy and they are set up to have a bull and they understand security. Around the breakfast table is conversation about bull security, and you know, you're training your kids from very young age to not go anywhere near that bull, and if you are the owner of that bull, you're having several fail-safes in place that if that bull were to get loose, it would be contained at another level on the place. You don't want them out in the field behind a single strand of wire, you know, with your cows. You don't want that. And I did see this, and the man who was doing it had little kids and around, and I could just tell that, man, that kid doesn't know what he's fooling with there. And that's what started the conversation. So I want to talk in the next video, in the next day or two, I want to talk about keeping pigs, and something that you need to have in the forefront of your mind. You need to be thinking about this because the potential is there for a very bad situation. Everybody wants to be a farmer and live happily ever after, but a tragedy on the farm is something that you will never forget. We have a family that lives near us within several miles, and one of their young children was killed in an accident with a four-wheeler and a tractor that was moving around inside of a confined area. And I go by their place all the time, and I just think, what is that like, you know, to live with that? So let's keep safety first and foremost in everything we do. I plan on staying with farmsteading until the foreseeable future, unless I buy a shrimp boat down in the Gulf or something like that. But I'm going to stay with this, and I think a lot of people are wanting to stay with me on this. Let's do it safely. Let's not have any problems. Okay? All right, this is Mark from Baker's Green Acres. And remember,